Hello, good morning students. Welcome. Today we are going to see second division of cryptogams, that is Bryophyta. Student, you may have seen a lush green soft carpet on old walls, bricks and rocks in the rainy season. It is nothing but the Bryophyta. If you want to see this, scrape it gently with a ruler and observe it under magnifying glass. This group is called as a amphibians. What is meant by amphibians? Why it is called as a amphibians? Because it can live or for its life both are necessary. Both means because they grow on the in moist soil, but they need water for their reproduction. That means both water is also required and soil is also required for their life, for their habitat. Student, see figure from your book or see on the screen. Here figures are given of Funaria, Markensia, Anthoceros. These are the examples of the Bryophyta. See, here rhizoids are given. Rhizoids are shown. What are these? These are ferns roots. These are root-like structure, but they are not true roots. After that, leaf-like parts are also there. These are not these are not leaf. Though they produce their food, photosynthesis takes place by this part, but it is not a leaf. It is a leaf-like structure. After that, one stalk is given there. As they do not bear flower, spores are formed in the capsule. And one stalk is there, and on the tip of the stalk, capsule is there, and in that capsule, spores are produced. And by the production of spores and by these spores, they reproduce. Now, students, we will see the character of division Bryophyta. The character of Bryophyta. First, plants belonging to this division Bryophyta are amphibious because they grow on moist soil, but they require water for their reproduction. And in this way, they are called as a amphibians of the plants. Second, plants are thalloid, multicellular and autotrophic. Plants are thalloid. Thallus is there. It is a multicellular and it do not bear real root, shoot or real leaf, etc. And so it is called as a thalloid, and it is autotrophic as chlorophyll is present there, and it produces photosynthesis and it produces their food, and so it is called as a autotrophic. They reproduce by spores. Student, we saw that there is a capsule, and in that capsule there are spores, and they reproduce by these spores. As they do not have any kind of flowers, they reproduces by spores. The structure of the plant body is long ribbon-like and flat, without two roots, stem and leaves. Structure is thallus. That is, it is a long ribbon-like structure. It is a very flat, without two roots, stem and leaves. Instead of these, they possess stem-like or leaf-like parts beside root-like rhizoids. They lack specific tissues for the conduction of food and water. There are not conducting tissues. No, it is non-vascular. That means conducting tissues are not there. Xylem, phloem are not there. After that, many examples are there. Funaria, that means moss, which you see on the walls, old walls. Rixia, Markensia, Anthoceros, all these are the example of Bryophyta. Student, after the Bryophyta, third division is Pteridophyta. Third division of cryptogams is the Pteridophyta. I think you may see these plants. You may saw these plants in the garden. These are ornamental plants. Uh, it is a fern, and if you see the fern, you will see the backside of that fern. There are different types of dots are there, and these are nothing but the sporangia in the sorus. Sporangia are there. We will see the characteristics of this Pteridophyta. See, plants belonging to the Pteridophyta bears well-developed root, stem and leaves. It have well-developed root, stem and leaves. As in Bryophyta, it do not have root, stem and leaves. True root, true stem, and it was not there. Its body was only thallus. But here in Pteridophyta, the plant is well developed root. Plant have well developed root, stem and leaves. They do not bear flowers and fruits, but they do not bear flowers, and as they do not bear flowers, fruits are also not there. They bear separate tissue for the conduction of food and water. They bear separate conducting tissue. Xylem and phloem are there for conducting water and food and water. Pteridophytes reproduce by means of spores. They also reproduce by spores which are formed on the posterior side of their leaves. If you see the posterior side of the leaves of the fern, you will see small dot-like structures are there. Small velvet dot-like structures are there. These are nothing but the sporangia, and spores are produced in this. Reproduction in pteridophytes occur asexually by spores. Here both the type of reproduction takes place. If suppose the reproduction takes place by spores, then it is a asexual reproduction, and if suppose it takes place sexually, it reproduces sexually by zygote formation. There are many examples of this: Nephrolepis, Adiantum, Pteris, Marcellia, Selaginella, Equisetum, Lycopodium. These are the common examples of pteridophytes. Student, in our next period, we will see subkingdom Phanerogams. Students, here under the heading Use Your Brain Power, one question is asked. What is the similarity between the plants of the groups Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta, irrespective of differences in their body structure? Students, you all know that all these plants reproduce by spore formation. They are called cryptogams as their reproductive organs cannot be seen. In starting, we saw the word cryptogams. Cryptos means hidden and gams means reproductive organs. As there are no reproductive organs or hidden reproductive organs in the cryptogams, and so it is called as a cryptogams. In today's lecture, we will see phanerogams. In phanerogams, division 1, gymnosperm and angiosperms.